This week on Country Music Junkies, I am so pleased to be joined by Shannon. Tara, how are things going?
Really great. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're pumped to be talking to you. I know that there's been a lot of excitement in your life of late in terms of hosting and musically and everything like that, so we want to get to all of that. But let's first kind of start with a little bit of your background. I know you're an award-winning singer-songwriter, but for our fans who potentially aren't familiar with your music, can you kind of give us a little bit of your backstory?
Sure, because I have been away from it for a little while, raising babies.
Yeah.
So I started, I started music, when I was really young, and I studied at McGill University, and I started songwriting when I was 18, and I was offered a record deal after I released my first record, which was quite a while ago, about 20 years ago. And at the time I had 3 young children, and I didn't realize what I was chasing until it was on my doorstep. And then I was like, wait, I can't tour for 2 years. I have 3 little children.
Right.
And so I kind of switched gears and just focused more on songwriting and kind of left the recording artist path, because those two paths are quite different, being a songwriter versus being a recording artist. So, and then I went on to have 4 more kids. We have 7 beautiful children.
Wow.
And yeah, I know, it's crazy. Everybody's like, what? You don't have any kids? And yeah, they're just wonderful. First 5 are boys and last 2 are girls, and they're amazing. And so I've been busy doing that, and I just kind of always kept one foot in music, doing songwriting. And but about 3 years ago, I started going to Nashville regularly, and then really wanted to finish something on my bucket list, which was make this record that was kind of always hanging in the air. It always felt unfinished, which is why we named the record Unfinished.
Perfect.
Because, yeah, it was after 20 years waiting, and so that's kind of what I did. I just went and became a mom, and a hockey mom to boot. All my kids play hockey, so I spent a lot of time in hockey rinks.
That's amazing. And, was there a certain kind of, I know you said this was always sort of in the back of your mind and a comeback was always in the back of your mind, but was there a certain turning point for you, or was there a certain instance that you kind of realized, like, yes, this is the time?
Yeah, there was actually. Well, there was 2, and one was I got really sick, actually, and I had some surgery and almost passed away, which sounds really dramatic.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it really was a turning point for me, because when I was recovering, I made a bucket list, and I said to my husband, gosh, if I had died, I would be so mad that I haven't done all these things I keep saying I'm going to do. And so it was kind of like the kick in the butt that I needed. So that's when I decided, I put making the record on the bucket list and started working towards it. But the other trigger was I was involved in a campaign to raise money for a friend of mine. His name is Jonathan Pitre. He's the butterfly child, and he suffers from EB. He lives down the street from me in our little village of Russell. And I got involved in that campaign, and he was the reason that I started moving faster. I say Jonathan's the reason for my now, because here's a 16-year-old young man who's fighting for his life every day, and I'm talking like I got all the time in the world, and he's like, why aren't you doing that record now? And I didn't have an answer for him. I was like, you're absolutely right. What am I waiting for? And so I say he's the reason for my now.
Well, that is so cool, and I mean, 2 amazing stories. That unfortunate that both of them are not super happy stories, but the flip side of that is that it's, pushed you to return to music in a larger way and release this new album, as you said, called Unfinished, which is a very fitting title. You've also released a single, Love Me Loud. Can we talk a little bit about that song and the story behind it and what fans can expect from it?
Sure. Really proud of that song. It's one of my favorites off the records. I wrote it with Jonathan Helfin, Lucy LeBlanc, Marty Dodson out of Nashville, and that it started as some songs come pretty quick, and some songs you really have to fight for, and this is one of those songs we had to fight for. It took us quite a while to write it, because I wasn't we started writing it just as songwriters, and then we switched our focus, and I said, guys, I think I want to put this one on my record for me as an artist. So we had to tweak the focus of the write a little bit, and I was having a hard time figuring out what it is I wanted to say exactly with that title, but once it clicked, it really came through. So it really is it's about empowerment, really, and it's just about women particularly asking for what they need when they need it without holding back or reservation.
Right.
And so it's an empowerment thing without it being an us and them, like women against the world kind of thing. It's just an encouragement to speak up for what you need when you need it. And how it's resonating with fans, and not just women, men as well, is really surprising to me, and very very fulfilling, actually, because, and in the video particularly, I said to the director, because the topic of the song, it's, it has a sensuality about it, but it's, typically in the music industry, you would get a young, music industry model, and you do the lingerie thing, you do all that. And I said to my director, okay, just hear me out. I said, could we try and make women of all ages and all body types sexy somehow? Let's try and do this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we focused on that for the video.
That is super cool. And now if fans want to check out the video, if they want to check out the new album, where's the best place for them to go to do that?
They can go right to my website, TaraShannonMusic.com, and they can get everything there. Everything's up on YouTube. They can also get the album on iTunes and all digital platforms, Spotify, and everywhere you get music now. And hard copies are available at my live shows. My next one is June 3rd in Russell. I'm opening for André-Philippe Gagnon at the Russell Arena for about 1,000 people, which will be a great show.
Amazing.
And I'll have some CDs there with me.
That's perfect. Okay, well, fans, again, be sure to check out Tara's website. Be sure to check out the new single, Love Me Loud. We'll have links to her website and the song and all that sort of stuff when we post this interview, so be on the lookout for that. Now, I wanted to also throw in there, you just finished hosting a show called Country Fix. Can you kind of give us a little bit of an idea of what that was like? That must have been super cool.
It was actually, it was really fun. That's one of the fun things you get to do as an artist, and the artist life. Songwriter life is kind of behind closed doors, but the artist life is you get to do these really cool things. So, it's a video show, a television video show, but it has a huge viewership, like something like 100 million worldwide. And I just got to introduce music videos, and they played 2 of my music videos, and then they interviewed me as well, which was great. So I got to share my story about making the record, and that airs on. You can go to Country Fix. If you just Google Country Fix, you can see all the air dates.
Now, Tara, how are you with regard to social media, connecting with fans on there? Is there a preferred social media? What's the best way for them to connect?
That's a great question. I love Facebook. That's the one I seem to understand the most.
Okay.
I do Twitter and Instagram as well. But if you want to message me on Facebook, I always get back to everybody, or like or comment, and I track it every day. And I love to hear from fans.
Tara, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.